Hi, Mrs. Maiden here with your suicide lesson plan and lecture. So, we're going to talk about mental health today. We're going to talk about suicide and the myths and facts that go along with suicide. So, even though we can't be together, we can still be together on social media, which is always good for our mental health, is to talk to our friends, to be out and be social. So, let's start with our first myth. Suicide usually occurs without warning. Okay, suicide usually has some kind of warning. Somebody's said something even small, um, just that they're not happy with their life or anything like that. Could be very, very tiny. So we need to make sure that we're always paying attention to everyone around us, what they're saying, and to dig deeper if we feel that it is important. Okay? The next thing is people who talk about killing themselves rarely commit suicide. And again, kind of goes back to it occurring without warning. Most people have talked about it before. And you'll find that when alcohol and drugs are played into that truth comes out much more often than we would like to realize. And this is hard for me too, guys. Like, I'm used to you guys talking back to me. So I'm just kind of going through these. But that thing where, oh, my friend was just really upset, or she was really drunk, or she was really high, those are the times where the realness of the situation maybe comes to light. If you ask if they're considering suicide, so maybe your friend was drunk or high and they said something about being suicidal, or maybe they weren't drunk or high and they were just completely sober and having a really bad day, or it was just a normal day and they're just like, you know what, I just don't feel like this anymore. I don't feel sad. I'm not wanting for anything. I have everything I ever wanted. I just don't feel like I want to live. Asking them if they're suicidal is not going to cause them to be suicidal. You're usually going to get two reactions. You're going to get the reactions like, oh my God, thank you, somebody finally saw this. And they're going to just talk, and you just got to listen and be ready for that. You can't do this in between class changes. This has to be something where you give time to that person, knowing that they may just talk for an hour and you just sit there and go, or reiterate and repeat what they're saying. So you're saying that your mom or dad's a mean person, or your friend or your boyfriend really broke your heart. You might think it's stupid to think about killing yourself because you broke up with somebody. But for many of you, your boyfriends and girlfriends are your family. Like, you either live with them or you're over their house all the time. So that breakup is very, very hard for some people. So what's not important to you doesn't mean it's not important to somebody else. So always remember that encouraging to talk about is always very, very important. Most suicidal people don't want to die. They want attention. They want the problem to be fixed. And there's no way that they know how to do it. So you need to really take everything seriously. Some people don't take suicide very seriously, and they think it's something like, oh, your kids, what problems do you have? You have a lot of problems. There's a lot of stuff. There's stuff you guys go through that I couldn't even imagine going through. And any adult that says otherwise doesn't know what they're talking about. I'm with you guys day in and day out for the last 20 some years. So I feel like I have a good understanding that, yes, you guys have issues that are true, that are necessary, and that do need attention. Sometimes people will be real suicidal. They'll say a lot of things. They'll be really dark. And then all of a sudden they're all happy. And they're all very excited. And they're relieved. And they seem like everything's passed. That is when you really need to take hold. Have they given away prized possessions? Have they made plans? Have they shared with you how they would kill themselves if they were going to? Because when your best friend's parent calls and can't find them, your head's going to go to what they said. And I'm going to tell you this. Do not go to where they said or what they said they were going to do. You don't want to find that. You need to make sure you get the right adult, the right police officer, the right teacher, the right somebody, but you don't need to go looking for them. You don't want to find them in that state. It is not going to be positive for your mental health or your memory. You want to remember them in a different way if something negative or catastrophic was going to happen like that. So again, always making sure that you're listening to someone, even if they're calm and serene, that maybe they've said all their goodbyes, they've done what they want to do. And as adults, if your parents are very depressed or having problems, and you see them making wills and changing things, question stuff, especially if you live in a single family home where maybe you're the only person that sees your mom or dad or grandparent, and they don't have a spouse or a partner where they can talk and relate to, and that other adult's taking care of the other adult in the house. Maybe you are kind of doing that too. So make sure that you're watching that. Make sure you're paying attention to that. Okay? And then remember, suicidal is not forever. Once you get help, once you get the right tools to help yourself get past it, you will get past it, hopefully. Some people, yes. Is it a lifelong struggle? Yes, it is. But for most people, it can be something that you can help yourself get better. It is not genetic. It can be environmentally, something you see. So like if every male in your house died before 40 at the hands of suicide, then yes, you may see, well, I don't think I'm going to live past this age. Or if it's something in your environment, you've been exposed to a lot. That's one thing. But genetically, you are not predisposed to be suicidal. You can be predisposed to be depressed or have anxiety and those kind of things. But for suicide, that is not a genetic thing. It's not in your heritage. It's not inherited. So those are the myths and facts of suicide. If you guys have any questions, please just message me or whatnot on Remind at 19 Maiden. And all you have to do is text 81010, and I'll answer any questions, comments, give you an advice. Remember that our counselors at school are available via email. So if you have anything there, or you can text me or email me via email, and I will get you any help that you may need or answer any questions that I could possibly be able to do. Okay, so I hope you guys are all staying safe, and #AloneTogether.